Are you familiar with the boomerang?
No.
Okay, a boomerang, just like the boomerang from Australia.
Yeah.
When you throw the boomerang, it comes back to the
Right.
person who
Threw
threw it. There is no doubt that all of these people who volunteered to perform public service on behalf of this president will become targets.
How?
I think that as we go through, and if the guard changes in the House or the Senate, they will be brought up on the very charges that the weaponization working group is supposed to be doing. They will not be given a pass.
So you need to explain that. What exactly do you mean?
The very work that the weaponization working group is supposed to be doing, they're supposed to be ferreting out corruption. You know, sort of like what we gave to the court.
Right.
They will use that. Except this time it will not be for this particular political class. It will be for their political class.
So if I understand what you're saying is, it won't be the people who carried out the fraud, the waste, the abuse, and the corruption, the seditious conspirators who have tried to overthrow the government, who weaponized
Yes.
the Department of Justice, who weaponized the FBI, who
Yes.
weaponized the intel agencies. It won't be them. They won't be going down for their crimes.
No.
It will be all of the people from the president down
Yes.
who are currently in positions of power and authority, who are in office.
Who are abrogating their responsibility to stand tall and do the people's work.
which is to hold these people accountable.
So the price that they will pay will be, they'll be held accountable for the crimes they were supposed to fix.
And didn't.
Yes, that's called a boomerang.
So that's a setup.
Yes.
It's also called a setup.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so this may be counterintuitive for some people, and so I just want to be certain that people really grasp what we're talking about. So instead of the people who've actually committed crimes being held accountable for those crimes, the people who are now in office,
In power.
who have taken an oath, and this is the key, right? Because
Yes.
that oath legally binds them.
Yes.
To stop the weaponization of government, to address the grievances of the American public,
And the whistleblowers that have been abused and
and the January 6th defendants
yes,
who've been victims of weaponization, and all the other people. So their failure to actually do that is going to be used against them.
Yes, but more important than that, it will break the heart of what got this particular president in office. It's going to break the heart of every single person who thought that this president was going to fix the problem.
And didn't. And not only that, but he will be impeached for not fixing the problem.
And his staff, all the president's men.
All the way through the government, anyone
Yes.
they want to get rid of. Not their people.
They will be punished, yes.
And punished how?
I would assume they will be legally charged and they will face legal charges, probably by the DOJ, Public Integrity Section, Criminal Division, civil rights violations, everything. Yes.
You know, it's interesting because I did speak to somebody who works inside the government, and one of the things that they're looking at in the intelligence world, this group is looking at reports that the law firm Perkins Coie, which is, you know, very famous for Mark Elias, they were heavily involved in Russia collusion. In fact, they even had an FBI agent had an office inside Perkins Coie, right? Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. But Perkins Coie and the FBI were working together, and they were very much part of this fake Russia collusion narrative that was a seditious conspiracy. These people are preparing legislation to make administrative functions in the government. Failure to perform those administrative functions can expose the administrators to the death penalty. Is that even conceivable to you?
Yes.
Why?
Because if you take an oath of office and you are going to support and defend the Constitution and you failed to do your duty, in some countries that's considered repressive behavior.
Because you're allowing that fraud, waste, and
Yes.
abuse to continue.
So that's what a boomerang is. So
You're-
basically, we gave you. In other words, this is like a chalice. You've been given the golden chalice.
But it's poisoned.
Yes, yes. So you have a choice. You either put the chalice down,
Yeah.
or you have to ultimately drink from it. Wow. And we're watching you.
It's just insane. You know, just part of me says that this is pure insanity, that these people who are, in theory, right, caught. Because
Oh, they are.
There
They
is
are
a
caught.
plethora of evidence stretching literally from here to Timbuktu and back 15 times that shows that they are guilty. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, stood next to Carolyn Leavitt, the press secretary at the White House, the president's press secretary, and said, here's the evidence of a seditious conspiracy.
Yes.
Conspiracy that was run by people like John Brennan,
Yes.
Barack Obama, Biden was involved, Comey was involved, Clapper was involved, you know, directors of the CIA, directors of national intelligence, directors of the FBI, that all of these people were involved. We've done an investigation, and here's the evidence. Here are the transcripts. Here are the records. You've got the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, is out there saying, we found all these burn bags of all this evidence that they tried to conceal, so there's evidence of a cover-up. You have the, all of these people, these investigations have been done. You've had James Comer at Oversight say that they've made referrals. You yourself know, because you've handed over
Yes.
hundreds of documents and pages of evidence
Ready for prosecution.
of corruption within the government. So we know the evidence exists.
Yes.
We watched the crimes. We literally witnessed the United States, the people of this country, we the people are witnesses to these crimes.
Yes.
We watched John Brennan go on television say that President Trump was a Russian spy, that Putin was his handler. We watched them say things under oath that they contradicted in private testimony. So we know they lied before Congress. The evidence is there. We witnessed these crimes taking place. And now the people responsible for these crimes who appear to be caught, you have an administration in place who was not guilty of those crimes, who've enacted legislation, who have taken an oath of office, who said we're going to prosecute these crimes. Therefore, reasons that escape most of the people who voted for them have not done so. And this is going to be the poison chalice from
Yes.
which they have all drunk.
Yes.
That is going to put them down
Yes.
once and for all.
And they're going to ultimately, and it breaks my heart to say this, they're ultimately going to discover the difference between public service and arduous public service. Arduous public service is when you have to stand tall and you have to do what is in the best interest of the nation, not yourself, not a party, not a group, not a company, but you have to stand tall. You have to get in the arena